Hello everyone, welcome to Tempest Gaming. Today we are talking about the vehicle import-export business in GTA Online. So before begin the video, මේ වීඩියෝ ගයිඩ් එකේ සිංහල version එකට උඩ දකුණු පැත්තේ තියෙන link එක click කරන්න. Vehicle import-export business is the most profitable one for a solo player. In this guide, let's discuss about what are the best locations to purchase a warehouse, how to do sourcing missions, and how to export vehicles safely. Since I'm discussing most of the sourcing missions and vehicle delivery strategies, this video will be a bit longer, but I have added timestamp for each section we discuss. You can refer those to jump into any interesting parts of this video. Now first, vehicle import-export is one of the CEO businesses in the game. So you need an executive office to start the business. If you don't have a CEO office yet, purchase one from the Dynasty 8 executive website. This week they have a 40% off discount on all CEO office types. So I think now is the best time to purchase one if you don't have one yet. So after you purchase the CEO office, you can log into the executive terminal to start the business. First, let's look at the available locations to purchase a vehicle warehouse. As you see, those are spread across the city, and when buying a warehouse, you need to think how easy to source vehicles and export them from the warehouse and how far it is to your CEO office. Actually, this will matter only at the beginning because you need to go to CEO office each time to source a vehicle. But if you have a terabyte, you can source vehicles from anywhere off the map. You don't have to visit the CEO office at all. From these locations, I suggest you to look into the La Puerta vehicle warehouse. It's the closest one to my current CEO office, as you can see, and it costs around $2.7 million. And there is a helipad nearby, so if you use Cargobobs to source and deliver vehicles, this is one of the best locations. Besides that, we have David Vehicle Warehouse. This one is also closer to the CEO office and it costs around $2.4 million. As you see, I purchased neither of those but the La Mesa Vehicle Warehouse. The biggest factor for me was the price. It's only 1.5 million, and later I discovered it's really easy to do sourcing and exporting vehicles because it has an easy access to the highway. And finally, people suggest the Murrieta Heights vehicle warehouse as it's the closest one to the highway on maps. But if you check the location, you'll see that it does not have direct access to highways like the La Mesa one, and it almost costs twice. So I advise you to stay clear of that. Choose your vehicle warehouse from the 3 locations I mentioned. Now let's start our first kind of sourcing mission. We can start sourcing missions from CEO office, or if you own a terabyte, you can start sourcing missions from anywhere. And I highly suggest you to attempt these sourcing missions in solo public sessions. Actually, this whole business should be doing in solo public sessions, so you won't get disturbed by any other players. If you are attempting this in a solo public session, you have to be careful because the game AI will populate some enemy NPCs to take you out. So once you notice them in your minimap, just get out of the car and find some cover. Usually for top tier sourcing missions, there is 4 NPC waves. Once you're all clear from the enemy NPCs, you can drive the vehicle to the warehouse. Now for the next type of mission, we have to steal a vehicle from police. Maybe during a police chase or during a roadside police stop. Either way, as you enter the car or interrupt the police chase, you will get wanted levels. So as soon as you get into the vehicle, call Lester and remove wanted levels. Otherwise the police will damage the vehicle and we need to minimize the damage as much as possible to get a higher profit. Now for this next sourcing mission, we need to break into a guarded residence. The car is locked and one of the guards have the key to unlock it. It's similar to the one we discussed first, but the little difference is during the enemy NPC chase, guards will come after us by a car and a helicopter. When you kill them, try to spare the pilot and he will follow you. So the game will think the pursuit is continuing and won't spawn any more NPC waves. In addition to these missions, there are a couple more steal type of missions. For example, you have to tail a vehicle to reveal the location of your sourcing vehicle cargo, or steal a vehicle from an NPC while it's drive along the road. These kind of things are fairly simple and you can apply the same things I have mentioned before to complete these missions without any issue. Now in this mission, as mentioned, you have to do some detective work. I think you need some familiarity with the GTA Online map. Usually these locations are spawned far north in the map, like Palito Bay or the Sandy Shores. Unlike previous missions, these type of missions don't have enemy NPCs or police chasing you after. But since they are a little bit far away, you have to be careful when you drive your vehicle cargo back to the warehouse. Just make sure to not damage your vehicle as much as possible so you can increase your profit during the sales. Now for this next type of mission, it will be sort of a time attack race. You have to reach the end of the race before time runs out. So my suggestion for this type of missions is to use a sport or any other car with have good handling and speed characteristics. Or if you have a Oppressor Mark II, you can try that. Even this mission don't have any sort of checkpoints in the middle, just start and finish. If you can reach the end within given time, you're good. Now after you get the vehicle from the owner, some of his associates might come after you. Just take them out and try to deliver the vehicle without damage as much as possible. In this mission, we have to use a Cargobob to pick up the vehicle from an offshore boat. The Cargobob can be spawned in various locations across the map. So once you pick up the Cargobob, head to the vehicle location. Once you are near the boat carrying the sourcing vehicle, land the Cargobob on nearby island. From here you can take out NPCs guarding the vehicle. This is important because we need to save Cargobob's health as much as possible. Mainly because once you hook the vehicle using Cargobob, 2 attack helicopters will come after us. So if we can save Cargobob's health earlier, it can take more hits from the helicopters later. But by any chance Cargobob starts to crash, release the car just before it hits the ground to avoid damage as much as possible. Now this last type of sourcing mission, we have to pick up pick the vehicle up from a residence or a garage. But as soon as you turn on the ignition, a bomb will activate. This bomb is tied to the speed of the vehicle, and if we go below a certain speed, the bomb will go off. It's not a tough mission. If you have an idea about your warehouse location, just drive towards that direction. Just be careful not to damage the car and maintain the required speed. Once the countdown completes, the bomb will defuse and you can deliver the vehicle to the warehouse. Now let's talk about exporting vehicles from the warehouse. Some of these tips are based on my warehouse location but can apply to any other location as well. And during the export, we need to select specialist buyer option to get the maximum commission for our export. This will cost $20,000 and our net profit will be at 80k. But if you receive any damage during the vehicle export, the commission will be reduced. First, during export from the La Mesa warehouse, I identified it only gives 2 paths up to the NPC spawn location. So let's look at each path and see how to protect our vehicle cargo from those NPCs. When you are traveling on the first path, after you left the warehouse, drive up to the bridge and stop the vehicle just before the waterline on the minimap. The AI will spawn enemy NPCs and we have to run for a cover. From the cover, you can take out all the NPC waves and go back to your vehicle. Now you can deliver the vehicle safely to the buyer. One more thing to be aware of is the color lights at junctions. Some NPCs might crash into our vehicle, so just make sure not to hit any other objects during the delivery. Our target is to deliver the vehicle with 0 damage to get the maximum commission possible. Now for the second path, drive along the suggested route, and when you see this construction site on your right, park the vehicle inside. There are many cover positions in this location, so take cover and kill all the enemy NPCs spawned by the game AI. After that, deliver the vehicle as safely as possible. Now the way we need to do this vehicle import-export business is to source one vehicle and export it just after delivering it to the warehouse. There is a 20-minute cooldown between each exports, so to increase your earnings, you can do VIP work missions such as the Sightseer or Headhunter in between import-export cycles. Additionally, if you noticed, we get the maximum commission for exporting top tier vehicles, but when sourcing vehicles, the game only gives them randomly. To get top tier vehicles every time you source a vehicle, keep 10 standard and 10 mid tier vehicles with unique license plate in your warehouse. After that, the game will only give top tier vehicles to source. But by any chance, if you receive a sourcing mission for a standard or mid-tier vehicle, just export it just after you deliver it to the warehouse. And that's all the tips I had in mind to share with you. I hope these tips can help you to boost your income from vehicle import-export business. If you like the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions regarding the vehicle import-export business, leave a comment or ask it in my Discord channel. I'll leave the link in the description. If you like to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.